Holy shit. Tommy Robinson jailed for contempt of court. Holy sweet Christmas. Wow. Unbelievable. I mean, just 37 minutes ago, it's just come through. Boy. What's going on in my mind is I'm just fucking worried about what's going to happen to him now. I mean, I think it's 9 weeks. Let's have a look. Let's see what it says. Has been jailed for 9 months. He's already served most of that. I think it's actually 9 weeks. Wow. They always bring this up. He's no longer in the English Defence League. He left that ages ago, but they still want to bring that up. Okay, so he was found guilty last week of interfering with the trial of a sexual grooming gang at Leeds Crown Court in May 2018, which it didn't affect the outcome. I think there were other people there from the media. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But they basically said that he'd had other things going on before that, and contempt of court issue, blah blah blah, whatever it is. The point is, it's just fucking incredible because obviously now one of two things is. I mean, I thought he might get away with it without going to prison. Just shows you how corrupt the British judicial system is, how evil and spiteful they are. I've got a situation with where my brother's living, and the council took his tenancy away. Well, we're not sure, but anyway, it's a long. I'm not going to go too deep into it. But the thing is, it's come up to nearly 2 years, and we still haven't heard from them what they want to do. And what I'm terrified, literally, is having to go to court, because you know that you're not going to get justice. In fact, one of the people, again, I don't want to go too deeply into it, in regards to his situation, said to him that if this were to go to court, the judges always err on the side of them. So whether you're right, regardless, they will win. They will get their judgment. They will look for any little spurious nonsense, regardless of what it is. And whatever your situation is, you will lose. Here we have, he doesn't need to go to prison. But like the guy from Rebel Media stated, because I saw this on Rebel Media, it's becoming like Putin's Russia, Venezuela, North Korea even. And this is what we really want in this country? Britain is becoming a totalitarian state, slowly but surely. This is just absolutely disgraceful. So 2-2, and there wasn't any jury. It was just two judges. Two Old Bailey judges said his Facebook Live video of defendants in the trial had encouraged vigilante action. What vigilante action? What the fuck is he talking? What are they talking about? What from what? Vigilante action from what? So that means that he's got to go to prison. A social media account in Tommy Robinson's name called the sentence an absolute joke and said it was time to protest. Yeah, people have a right to protest, to come out and say this is wrong. We're showing you, our disdain for the system, or our dislike of what the system is doing, and this is, the public are showing you. Look at the Iraq War. 2 million people came out to voice their opinion. They didn't want that war, to Britain to be in that war. Did they give a shit? No, they didn't. They continued with the war. Outside the London court, supporters of Robinson, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, booed as news of his sentence reached them. The crowd marched towards the Old Bailey, chanting, "We want Tommy out," before some began pelting police with bottles and cans, which is what they deserve. Plain and simple. It's what they deserve. As a prison van thought to contain Robinson drove away, several supporters shouted, "We love you, Tommy." Some of his supporters then moved towards Parliament, where there were reports of journalists being verbally abused and physically intimidated. Good. Exactly. Because these journalists are bastards. BBC, ITV, and one or two of the others. I even think to a certain extent, Sky News, they completely twist the news and don't report it correctly. Some of his supporters then moved towards Parliament, where there were reports of journalists being verbally and physically intimidated. City of London police said officers arrested at least 3 people. You're lucky. It could have been more, and it should not arrest, but it could have been a lot worse. If they really wanted to go over mental, uh, they could have easily done that, but they kept restraint. During the 1918 court case at Leeds Crown Court, reporting restrictions had been put in place, postponing the publication of any details until the end of a series of linked trials involving 29 defendants. However, Robinson, 36, from Luton, broadcast footage from outside the court on the 25th of May 2018, while the jury in the second trial of the series was considering its verdict. The video lasted an hour and a half and was viewed online 250,000 times after being live streamed on Facebook. In a written ruling, Dame Victoria said said Robinson had claimed his intention in making the broadcast was to denounce the media for their behaviour, but the judges found he had encouraged others to harass a defendant by finding him, knocking on his door, following him, and watching him. Had encouraged. Those are the mentally disturbed. You can't. I mean, if people are going to do that, they're going to do that off their own back. Why should he be responsible for that? It's just ridiculous, honestly. This creates the real risk that the course of justice would be seriously impeded. Bollocks. Bollocks. It doesn't matter what whatever they're gonna they put him. He's in prison now. He's serving prison. Is he going to survive this? If he goes to hopefully like the first prison he went to, where it was relatively okay, he hopefully he will come out from that. But you can guarantee, I'll put money on it, they're going to put him in the same type of prison that he was in before. Muslim run. Holy sweet shit. Robinson was originally jailed for 13 months on the day of the Facebook broadcast, but was released 2 months into the sentence after winning an appeal. The case was then referred back to Attorney General Geoffrey Cox, who announced in March this year that it was in the public interest to bring fresh proceedings. The 9-month jail sentence served on Thursday indicates 6 months for the Leeds Crown Court offence last year and another 3 months for contempt of court, following a suspended sentence given at Canterbury Crown Court in May 2017. At the Old Bailey on Thursday, Dame Victoria Sharp told Robinson that the time he's previously spent behind bars for contempt would be taken into account, reducing the sentence to 19 weeks, of which he would serve half before being released. Robinson's barrister, Richard Furlong, raised the possibility of an appeal against the court's decision and was told he had 28 days to apply. The Attorney General said the sentencing illustrated how seriously the courts would take matters of contempt. There are people out there who are smacking people in the mouth, beating them up left, right, and centre, and get suspended sentences after, coming to court crying and pleading poverty, blah blah blah, and all sorts of nonsense. This guy hasn't beaten anybody, killed anybody. He might have smacked a few people in the past, because he knows how to look after himself. But still, why does he have to go to prison? This is just nonsense. The attorney, throwing people like this into jail, it's just a waste of waste of the country's money. The Attorney General said the sentencing illustrated, how the courts would take matters of contempt. I would urge everyone to think carefully about whether their social media posts would amount to contempt of court. Totalitarian state is where Britain is heading for. Totalitarian state. Britain is heading towards that. I mean, if they had somewhere to send Robinson to, like they used to send people to Australia, they can't do that anymore. Maybe when Mars or the moon is where they'll probably be sending people in the future. Those people who steal a loaf of bread or a bit of bread, they'll be sent to the moon or to Mars. Contempt of court laws exist to ensure people have fair trials. The idea is that juries must not be influenced by anything but the evidence they hear in court. The rules apply to everyone from journalists to people posting comments on social media, and even juries. If someone interferes with a trial, the defendant can walk free and a new trial may have to be held. The maximum sentence for contempt of court is 2 years in prison, but can also be punished with an unlimited fine. I mean, why not just give the guy a fine to keep him out of prison, then send him, to prison? If they'd have fined him, that would be far better than wasting public money throwing someone into jail. I mean, it costs a lot of money to put a person in jail. It's not peanuts, It costs a lot of money to put a person in jail. And so if he can be fined, why did they fine him? He would have been happy to have paid that and kept him out of court. Contempt includes publishing anything that creates a substantial risk of seriously prejudicing, prejudging, I can't pronounce it. Anyway, you can see what it says there. Active criminal proceedings. Proceedings become active when a suspect is arrested. Someone could also be in contempt by actions including taking photos or film, recording what is said in court, or taking a jury member, or talking to a jury member about a case. Wow. Unbelievable. So there he is. He's convicted of journalism. He had his bag. He knew he was going. He was going to go in, and wow. So he'll be going back in again. He'll come out emaciated, probably again, because he can't eat anything, hardly anything. It depends on what prison he goes to. But they're going to send him to the worst one. You know how they behave. Evil, evil bastards. Evil bastards. Britain is Britain is already a joke anyway. I mean, look at the Brexit situation. It's a complete and total joke. And oh God, this is terrible. Anyway, I thought I'd just have my say on it. Absolutely disgusting. I don't know what to do. I'm going to see if I can. There's a link somewhere. Make a donation if you you know if you can. We need to try and support this guy. Um, this is just absolutely terrible. Anyway, I've had my say. I'm disgusted by this nonsense. Doesn't need to go to court. Could have been fined. Um, let's see what happens. Thanks for listening. Good day.